Dr. Rajin Prasad.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think in time this will be shown to be the unfortunate experiment. Because if you look at the logic of this bill and logic of this part of the bill that set up charter schools, it goes something like this. And it's government theory. It says that there's something wrong with the education system because it produces a tail. And then it goes beyond that and says it produces a tail because our teachers are trained. That's why it's produced a tail. The teachers are trained, and because the management of the schools they go to are on the hands of local boards, local people, I say to Mr. O'Connor. That's why it fails, because it's those people. Then it goes on to say that the tail is created, Mr. Chairman, because the school has to teach within a broad curriculum. It's quite enabling, but that's why it fails. And then the theory goes that this bill adopts, or this government adopts, that it also fails because we hold those teachers and others accountable, and because there is public scrutiny of what they do. And that's why they fail. So what we will do, they say, Mr. Chairman, is to set up an alternative model. It's set up an alternative model that actually takes all of those things away, which is what charter schools do. I want to say to the Minister in the chair, there was just a few minutes ago a deputy principal of a very highly respected Auckland school sitting in the gallery. There are two teachers sitting there. I was signalled to go up and see them, and I did. This was just about 15 minutes ago. And as I went there, this highly respected, very competent deputy principal was in tears. She was in tears because she said that the argument that's being presented here actually misses the point. She was saying to me, why are we following the examples of failed schools? Why aren't we following the educational examples of the world's leading education systems? Why are we not doing that? And that person said to me, a very highly respected person I respect, in all sincerity and in tears, that this will result, if this government goes down, treating the education system in this way, this will result in good teachers leaving. And that, I think, is a very sad experiment, a sad commentary, because that's the kind of comments we hear from many, many people that I've spoken to about this. Because there are so many things wrong with this particular proposal. Look, if I accept that the government side is interested in quality education, and I don't understand why the 59 members of the National Caucus are supporting this, because it is led by a tail that is the ACT Party. And this is the one little thing that would, if it wasn't so, I say to the Minister in the chair, if it wasn't so, you would have signalled this, the government would have signalled this in the last period in government, and they would have done something more about it. They didn't. This is the cup of tea deal that was done. Now let's go through then, and I say, perhaps not,
And told him they're planning for it in August before.
Well, maybe so. Maybe so. But I think John Banks then must have been the catalyst that brought this together. Now, teacher quality is important. There are high degree of input into the training and developing the personalities that teach in our schools. And we expect that quality from the teachers. We expect some accountability for that. But here, what this bill is saying, that we won't require that for schools that teach to this tail. That's what it's saying, I say to the Honourable Minister, because in fact the requirement is taken out. There's no qualification of those requirements. And therefore, if this belief is that this is what will happen, because of few schools, and I've been on the select committee as well, I've seen some Pacific Island Maori groups supporting this. That does not make it right, I say to some economist O'Connor. It does not make it right. It does not make it right at all. If that's what they wanted to do, there are enough provisions in the current Act to allow that to happen, and there are many, many highly successful special character schools. The member does not know what the member is talking about. Which school of education philosophy did that member come from, or indeed studied or understood? Because there's none that guides this particular one. No respectable education philosophy guides this model of play. Saying, well, I asked the member to take a call and say, the members of the government are very quiet. They are taking very short calls and not justifying this at all, just criticising this side. But come up with the evidence that Mr. Chairman.
The Honourable Nanaia Mahuta.
Chair, people following this debate tonight could be forgiven.